When I recently started to speak to people about artificial intelligence, I noticed that they always think of GPT or ChatGPT. The truth is, the AI market does not revolve around GPT. It was one of the first tools to be publicly released, but there are tools that are better. For instance, ICQ was the first instant messenger, but you don't use that anymore. You use WhatsApp. You probably don't even know what ICQ is. Motorola was the first phone, but again, do you see people using Motorola? The digital world on the internet has three main pillars that everyone focuses on, which is video, images, as well as text. In terms of AI, we're going to discuss the three tools that are good in each of those areas. Welcome to None Edited, a podcast or vodcast that is meant to just speak about tools with no editing whatsoever. When it comes to text, the first tool you should keep in consideration is Anthropic's Claude. Anthropic is a company similar to OpenAI, and it released something called Claude, which is similar to ChatGPT. Now, in my opinion, this is one of the most underrated tools when it comes to text artificial intelligence tools in the market. Yes, GPT is quite cool, but Claude, according to my testing and experience, is on the same level, if not better, in many tasks. In terms of Anthropic as a company, Anthropic raised over $9.7 billion. That is a tremendous amount. And they have investors like Amazon, like Google. So they're also heavy when it comes to AI image generation or AI text generation. Image, they don't do that yet. But text, they're really good at it. Now, taking a look at it, here's the few things that you need to know about Claude that, in my opinion, makes it a lot better than GPT. The number one thing that Claude is doing right that GPT is not is the user interface. Claude has somehow a user interface that makes it a lot simpler to talk. The text formatting, the background color, the way they put the text is a lot better than GPT in my opinion. GPT is good when it comes to technology, but not when it comes to user friendliness and users being humans. Aside from that, there is the quality of content. When I compare both, sometimes I use it for article editing, grammar, spelling, and not summarizing, but sometimes I send it scripts for it to just cut out some elements. And for that, they both do an exceptional job, GPT and Claude. And so I would use that sometimes. I would use that sometimes. They're both okay. Pricing as well, they're very similar, so they're okay. What impressed me at the beginning is chart generation when it comes to Claude. Create a chart of this table. Now, the chart generation is also available in GPT, but I saw it first on Claude. They had these features that would just show a chart in a way that is a very pitchable and pretty chart. X equals 10, Y equals, let's say, 399, assume the rest. Yes, the idea that they're using React in how they generate charts is really impressive in my opinion, because I started working on a few websites, and the websites and their data visualization was key and was really good. Now GPT can do that as well, but I still give them the edge because they're a little bit better or more accurate in terms of the design element. And design is key when it comes to Claude. Aside from that, data processing, they do both. If you copy a PDF and put it here or attach it to Claude, it's the same as attaching it to GPT. They both have the capability of processing your data. They're both imperfect in this, and that's what I realized after a few months of testing, that if I send a heavy document, Claude as well as GPT both won't really perfectly understand what it is. Some things like images inside a PDF are not perfectly understood, even though Claude just sent an email recently of an update that should fix that, but it's still not perfect. The thing that I don't like about Claude, though, compared to GPT, is the conversation length. So, I assume that GPT is burning a lot of cash, and that's why they're investing a lot in their capabilities. Claude, I don't think they're doing as much, because if I continue this conversation for 5 minutes And if I really paste a lot of information and data that I wanted to process, Claude would get me this warning and tell me, this conversation is too long. You have to start a new conversation, which is kind of annoying. And I think GPT at the moment doesn't have that unless you really abuse or really send a lot of information. So in this sense, the difference between both platforms, Claude and GPT, can't really be benchmarked by average users. If you use Claude, if you use GPT, 90%, you'll probably feel that they're the same. On the contrary, I feel that you're going to think that Claude is better due to the design elements and the user interface. So when it comes to text, consider Claude as an option. That's number one, my top AI tool when it comes to text. Moving on to images. Images is quite the important factor. And when it comes to image generation, GPT has their image generated DALL-E, which according to my testing is kind of the worst in the market right now. I've tried elements like stability, I've tried Midjourney, and I really, really recommend Midjourney. DALL-E is not good when it comes to details. Midjourney was one of the pioneers, as well as stability as well, but Midjourney has something in the quality of images that does not feel fake. Let me tell you an interesting story. I was talking to a family member and they were trying to start a new clinic, and for that they needed to create a website. When they were creating their website, they looked at online images for people because photo shoots of people is quite expensive. They looked first at the option of Shutterstock, and they noticed that it was quite expensive to purchase commercial licenses for these images. AI images would resolve that. So they instantly bought it, and they felt very happy about this concept of buying such images easily. And this is the perfect use case of AI image generation. Now, they all do the same thing. DALL-E, Midjourney, and stability as well. But the idea is those three, I would always put Midjourney at the top. And Midjourney has a very good success story. They are bootstrapped, so they didn't get any funding from outside investors. So they're quite good in this sense. And their prompts can get a heavy level of sophistication. If you open their websites, you're going to find that there are a lot of prompts out there, and they just show to the world what people are searching for. And it's just tremendously beautiful on all levels. If you read the news, you'd find that one company or one artist used an AI-generated image from Midjourney. I believe it was from Midjourney, and it actually won an award show, which creates the final problem of AI image generation. Yes, Midjourney has good quality. Yes, when I write articles, for example, creating an image with Midjourney just makes it a lot easier than finding an image that fits the context. So I really prefer Midjourney towards anything else, but you have to know that Midjourney, that stability, that even DALL-E have kind of an ethical problem or dilemma. AI image generations are created because they are studying or trained on models of images. How do they know to draw an image of Darth Vader, for example? They have to take images of Darth Vader and train on it so that they would know what it means to be Darth Vader. Now, Darth Vader might not be a problem because it's kind of a public figure, but the style of painting art is the ethical problem, because a lot of artists did not give permission to companies like Midjourney or Stability to actually practice their models on their images or on their paintings, art, whatsoever. And they're now involved in a lot of lawsuits about this exact thing. So if you use Midjourney, you might not really be supporting the art career or the art industry in general. Keep that in mind. Now, when it comes to the final element of the digital world, which is video. Video is massive, right? TikTok made a business out of it. YouTube migrated to shorts. Instagram made reels. They all know that video is kind of what we're used to nowadays. You like to see real people like me talk. That's the reality of the world we're in right now. But you also liked to read content from people on the internet. Nowadays, GPT is all over the market. You just can't, sometimes you can't really know whether this is AI written or whether it's not. It requires a specific level of practice to actually know that. When it comes to video, this is exactly the same problem. Nowadays, the quality of videos with companies that are like Synthesia, for example, that's the biggest company that I'll talk about. It's the biggest and the best in terms of video generation, and it creates very, very good and realistic videos of people talking. And if you look at their website, you're going to be very, very impressed. But the truth is, the world is kind of freaked out by it. A good example is when there was an advertisement on Instagram showing Tom Hanks speaking about some sort of dental company, I believe. I don't really remember. But Tom Hanks himself on the official channel went out and said that I didn't do any sort of advertisement for any company. So the fraud element of creating AI videos is going to be on the rise. That's a natural part of it. But putting that aside, the use cases of using video generation is tremendous. I talked before about a company called Pika Labs. It creates generic sort of videos that you might need, which is also a very big use case, and it also raised a ton of money. Synthesia focuses on people, which is what we really like to see. And a lot of the times we don't really like infographic videos. We want to see people speaking. And now, if you look at an AI video of someone, you're not going to be interested in watching it because it's fake. But what if it's not? I'm not sure whether this is part of Synthesia's models, but what if you create your own? I'm pretty sure actually it is. If you create your own avatar based on your own face, and then just put the text to generate it into video. Now, it's my face. I am AI generated. But then is this an ethical dilemma of some sort? I'm giving permission to use my own facial models to be used as an AI product. This is where it's kind of a gray zone. Another good example of this is the Apple Vision Pro. When they said that their FaceTime, when you're wearing the Apple Vision Pro and someone calls you on FaceTime, they're going to see sort of an AI model of you, which is not real, but it looks very similar to you. And for that, people didn't have a problem with it because it's not really Tom Hanks pitching a video of a dental company. So the future of video is rising, and for that, Synthesia is one of the companies that raised over $156 million, and they are also growing, and I expect them to be large and large over time. It's just the problem is that people are feeling betrayed by video, and once this is sort of solved, this is when they're going to really achieve their potential of growth. So, as a conclusion, when it comes to AI tools out there, you always have to remember that what is important is the use case. In the AI industry in general, it's the use case, not the first mover's advantage. Again, Motorola was the first mobile phone provider or so, but now everyone uses the iPhone. So if a lot of people are using GPT right now, that doesn't mean they're going to keep using it in the future. The biggest advice that any person could give you when it comes to the AI world or tools that you can use for AI is that you have to try them yourself. I invite you to try these 3 products: Claude for text generation, Midjourney for image generation, and Synthesia for video generation. You're going to really be astonished by what you see. Even if I keep talking and talking about this, it's a different experience when you try it yourself, because we're always curious, and when we see this, we get into another like level of thinking. Oh, I didn't know this was possible, even though I heard about it, but this is really impressive. And especially the fact that it's limited by what you type. So you might be thinking of a kiwi, a frog, others might be thinking of a bottle, of a big natural place. Whatever it is, it's not going to be limited, and it's going to be unlimited based on your creativity. And for that, there are many available use cases, and that's the beauty of artificial intelligence, and that's why NVIDIA is soaring in terms of market valuation, and the world is just going crazy about it, because yes, you saw Synthesia is good for video generation, Midjourney is good for images, and Claude is for text, but Are there other things? Of course, there are other things. There are robots. That's why Figure is working on it. There are AIs related to plants. There are bottles that are going to be made with AI somehow. AI is going to be involved in everything. So it really depends on the use case of what people need to perfect. That's what you should always be keeping in mind when looking at any AI product whatsoever. Those were the top 3 AI tools that I have been using for a while and that I would advise. Synthesia, I haven't been using that much, but I still recommend to try it out. I've studied this company quite well. Thank you for listening to Non-Edited. It's sort of, again, a podcast or a vodcast that should be fun and should just speak with not a lot of edits. Not any edits, actually. So yeah, have a great day.